I'm sorry. I genuinely thought something might
Harry,
have happened.
the deal has always been clear with us. We're always up front. So why the hell would you jump to this conclusion?
Oh, come on. Are you really that surprised that I thought you were having sex with someone else when you do, in fact, take enormous pride in having sex with other people?
I must go. Lamb. I've got lamb in the slow cooker.
All right. So when you got to this storyline, were you surprised that Harry, who's normally so placid and everything, had such a spin out and such a big reaction to, losing things with Xavier?
No, not at all. Because he's so he's pretty insecure and definitely insecure in dating and in love, and he's new to it all. And Xavier sort of poses as like something quite opposite to him, and offers him like something really exciting. And I think that I can totally understand that sort of spiral in losing something that you have convinced yourself is so meaningful and incredible for you. And maybe he believes that, I think maybe he thinks that he won't find anything quite like this again. Or someone like Xavier might not, be into him again.
Well, it's his first proper
It's his first
boyfriend,
love.
so he doesn't have
love
your
as
love,
well,
and you got nothing to compare it to,
No.
and so you might think that this is just the love of your life, and if you screw this up, who knows?
Totally.
And if you've created this big drama in the family for the sake of it, and it might not be what you thought it was going to be, I mean, the stakes are epic. It's so painful.
Were you surprised at how angry he got about Stuart? Because the whole way through the season, both seasons, he has been, I reckon you would have to say, the most placid character.
Totally.
And the most sort of peacekeeper. Like, even in the first episode ever, when things are going to shit, he's always the one.
Yes.
And yet, in this episode, he gets really angry and almost spiteful.
Again, no. Because he loves Liz so much and she is his absolute person. And I'm not surprised at all that he becomes protector. And while it doesn't really, it sort of comes out in a way that is maybe not super helpful to the person he's trying to help, and is probably also definitely connected to some bitterness because of what's happening in his own relationship at the same time. I'm not surprised at all, because I think anyone... he was there for all of it. He says it. He was there for all of it, and he saw it all, and he just doesn't want her to get hurt again. So
I love the way he defends her, even though it's kind of awkwardly done. I love the sass that Harry has, and I love seeing Stuart grapple with that, because I think Stuart's so charming. He thinks he can sort this out. He can smooth it over, and Harry's not buying it. It's
and
spectacular.
I think also Stuart knows that he has to let it ride out.
We might have some building work coming up if you're interested.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just make sure he pays you up front.
Fair enough.
We didn't know going into the storyline. We hadn't realised that it would allow us to show angry Harry for the first time, but then we loved it when we got into it. It was just felt like after so many episodes where he is the peacekeeper, to finally have him be a little bit irrational and at times overstep and be almost spiteful. At times felt like just good, new territory.
Yeah, totally.
I mean, that's such a balancing act for the writing, to find the fragile, the joyful, the many different gears, and discovering the characters in a deeper way each time. How do you plot that? Do you just does it come organically? Do you have a plan?
Yeah. Oh, we are really conscious of it, getting the balance right. We always start with the character whose main storyline it is. That's locked in first, but then we definitely sort of arrange the other ones to sort of complement it, to make sure that you get, there's parts of it are going to be funny and parts of it are going to be uplifting, and it's not,
And do you ever think, I want to see Ben cope with this? How do we make that? Do you kind of think that these are areas I'd like to push, or see what happens if this character...
Massive, especially now that we, know and love them so much, that any situation is fun for, to just sort of think, okay, now let's go around the five and imagine what each of their reactions are, and you want them all to be nuanced and quite quite different. No two of them are going to react the same way. And there's heaps of, like, we've still got all these situations in our head that we want to take them to at one point. And so, who knows how many series it will take to get to certain points where...
This is excellent. How do you create a character that people will resonate with? What are there elements that you look for? Or?
I mean, I'm terrible. I rip off my own life massively. I think most characters, even though Christina and I are so different, and even though the characters are so different, generally when we're writing them, we are sort of tuning into a part of ourselves. But then once you guys come on and then the story starts happening, then they just become their own entity. And also you keep on looking to complicate them and so the starting point is just always some fragment of human behaviour that and that you think's funny or sad or both, hopefully.
Yeah.
And then just every time you go back to write more of it, you add more complications and hopefully they get, I don't know, more multidimensional and realer and funnier and sadder.
But it hurts me. It hurts me. This drift really hurts me in this episode.
It does, but it's fun to play.
But it's real. It's real.
And it's real, but
Yeah.
it's fun to play.
And you feel it internally.
Oh, yeah, no, it hurts me. But no, I love it. It's great.
No, absolutely, because their relationship is so...
Pure.
Yeah.
It's a pure. That's what I love
is
about it.
pure,
It's
yeah.
a pure relationship.
It feels like one of the biggest stakes in the... Like, it feels like in some ways, I know we've done some really devastating things in the show, but it does feel like if they were to break up their friendship irreconcilably, almost feels like the most devastating thing that we could do.
Because he's irreplaceable. Like,
Yeah.
No, it'd be terrible.
No. Yeah,
Don't do that.
do that.
In series 3.
Who knows what will happen?